MasterMan 125 and the Forgotten 4200s. S3, Episode 1, The Deletion Protocol. Overall Episode 14. Characters, MasterMan 125, Blue 0, Orange 0. The screen fades in from black. MasterMan 125 stands in the center of a dim, flickering data chamber. He is in his new 3-shape design, looking sharper and more streamlined. He holds the familiar tablet from Seasons 1 and 2, which glows with a frantic red light. Blue 0 walks up beside him, peering at the screen. The tablet shows a progress bar labeled Deletion Protocol Active. Blue 0. The system is moving faster than before. We are losing sectors by the second. MasterMan 125. I see it. The core is being targeted directly. We need to find the override. A bright flash of light illuminates the room. Orange 0 steps out from a hidden partition, his orange glow reflecting off the metallic walls. Orange 0. Stop. If you touch that terminal now, you'll trigger a total system collapse. MasterMan 125. Who are you? How did you get past the firewall? This area is restricted. Orange 0. I'm an outlier. I've been watching the 4200's protocol from the shadows for a long time. Blue 0. Can you stop it? The deletion is already at 40%. We're running out of time. Orange 0. I can delay it, but the rivals are already on their way to the hub. MasterMan 125. Then we move now. Show us the way to the main server before everything vanishes. Orange 0. Follow me. But stay quiet. The sensors in the 4200s are extremely sensitive to movement. The 3 characters begin to run down a long, glass-floored hallway. Below them, streams of data are dissolving into white mist. Blue 0. Look at the floor. The foundations of the 4200s are literally being erased beneath our feet. MasterMan 125. Keep jumping. Don't look back. We have to reach the end of this corridor. They reach a heavy blast door. MasterMan 125 slams the tablet into a port on the wall. The red light turns amber. Orange 0. The protocol is paused for now. But we've just alerted the 4200 security to our exact location. MasterMan 125. Good. Let them come. We aren't hiding anymore. This is where we take a stand for the 4200s. The camera zooms out as the blast doors slowly creak open, revealing a blinding white light. Scene end. MasterMan 125 and the Forgotten 4200s. S3, Episode 2. Fragments of the 4200s. Overall Episode 15. Characters, MasterMan 125, Blue 0. The screen opens on a desolate, glitching landscape within the 4200s. The sky is a flickering grid of purple and gray. MasterMan 125, in his new 3-shaped form, stands next to Blue 0 in front of a floating, crystallized memory core, the object they were searching for. MasterMan 125 raises his tablet, scanning the glowing core. The screen on the tablet reflects the complex binary code spinning inside the fragment. MasterMan 125. The data inside this core is fragmented. It's the last remaining history of the 4200s before the shift. Blue 0. It looks fragile. One wrong move and the whole sector might collapse into the void. MasterMan 125. I have to stabilize it. If we lose this core, we lose our map through the 4200s. He taps a sequence of commands into the tablet. The memory core begins to spin faster, emitting a low, rhythmic hum that vibrates through the ground. Blue 0. The interference is getting stronger. I can feel the system trying to pull this fragment back into the deletion stream. MasterMan 125. I'm locking the coordinates now. We need this to prove that the 4200s are worth saving. Suddenly, the ground beneath them cracks. A surge of blue energy shoots up from the floor, nearly knocking Blue 0 off his feet. Blue 0. Masterman. The floor is losing its physical properties. We're standing on pure ghost data. MasterMan 125. Stay focused. I've almost bypassed the corruption. Just a few more sectors to clear. The tablet emits a loud beep as a green checkmark appears on the screen. The memory core stops spinning and turns a solid, calm gold color. Blue 0. You did it. The fragment is stable. But look at the horizon. Something is coming. They both look toward the distance. A massive shadow is moving across the grid, blocking out the light of the 4200 Sunday. MasterMan 125. That's not the system. That's a signature. Yellow 3 is already on our trail. Blue 0. We need to go. If he finds us here with the core, it's game over for everyone. MasterMan 125 grabs the glowing core, which shrinks down and fits into a slot on the side of his tablet. He looks at the fading horizon one last time. MasterMan 125. The fragments are coming together. Let's move before the shadow catches up. The camera pans out to show the 2 heroes running across a bridge of light, just as the ground behind them dissolves into nothingness. Scene end. MasterMan 125 and the Forgotten 4200s. S3, Episode 3, The Recalibration Signal. Overall Episode 16. Characters, MasterMan 125, Blue 0, Yellow 3. The screen flickers with static as a high-frequency noise rings out. MasterMan 125 and Blue 0 are standing in a high-tech transmission hub. The walls are lined with pulsing gold cables that represent the nervous system of the 4200s. MasterMan 125 is holding the tablet, trying to stabilize a jagged yellow waveform on the screen. MasterMan 125. The signal is erratic. It's trying to recalibrate the entire sector's gravity. If I can't lock this down, the 4200s will literally flip upside down. Blue 0. I've never seen the system react like this. It's like the code is being forced to rewrite itself against its will. Suddenly, a bolt of yellow electricity strikes the center of the room. From the smoke emerges Yellow 3. He is sharp, jagged, and his eyes glow with a piercing light. He looks at the heroes with pure arrogance. Yellow 3. You're fighting a losing battle, little number. The recalibration has already begun. The 4200s are being updated to a version you don't belong in. MasterMan125. We aren't letting you overwrite the history of this place. We found the core, and we know how to stop the signal. Yellow 3. Laughing harshly. Knowing and doing are two different things. That tablet is a relic of a dead era. It can't handle the power I'm about to unleash on the 4200s. Yellow 3 raises his hands, and several yellow lightning bolts arc from his fingers into the overhead cables. The room begins to shake violently, and the floor starts to pixelate and disappear. Blue 0. Masterman. The tablet. It's overheating. The surge is too strong. MasterMan125. I'm rerouting the energy through the secondary ports. I just need 10 seconds of clear signal in the 4200's grid. Yellow 3. You won't get 10 seconds. You won't even get one. Yellow 3 lunges forward, his hand transformed into a glowing yellow blade. MasterMan125 barely rolls out of the way, slamming his tablet into a floor panel. A blue shockwave erupts from the panel, pushing the rival back. MasterMan125. The signal is locked. Blue 0. Hit the manual override on the terminal. Blue 0 leaps across a gap in the crumbling floor and smashes a large button. A hum fills the air, and the yellow lightning turns a steady, calm blue. The shaking stops instantly. Yellow 3. Growling. A temporary fix. You've delayed the inevitable, but the 4200s are still marked for deletion. I'll be waiting at the next hub. Yellow 3 dissolves into a flurry of yellow sparks and vanishes. MasterMan125 picks up his tablet, which is now smoking at the edges. MasterMan125. He's fast. And he's not alone. We need to find the others before the next signal starts. Blue 0. At least we're still standing. For now, the camera pulls back to show the transmission tower glowing with a faint blue light against the dark sky. Scene end. MasterMan125 and the Forgotten 4200s. S3. Episode 4. Data Path to Freedom. Overall, Episode 17. Characters. MasterMan125 Blue 0. The screen fades in on a narrow, glowing bridge suspended over an endless white void. The atmosphere is quiet, filled only with the hum of distant server fans. MasterMan125 and Blue 0 reach a major junction where the path splits into two distinct digital roads. In the center of the junction stands a floating signpost, flickering with neon energy. To the left, the sign points toward a dark, unstable tunnel labeled 4210. To the right, a bright golden path is labeled 4200. MasterMan125. This is the crossroad. The tablet is pulling toward the right, but the corruption is leaking from the left. Blue 0. The path to the 4200s looks safer, but look at the sign. It's glitching. It's almost like the system wants us to get lost. MasterMan125 holds up his tablet, scanning the signpost. The screen displays a complex map of the internal sectors, showing that the golden path is a shortcut through the heart of the zone. MasterMan125. If we take the right way, we can reach the main hub of the 4200s before the next deletion cycle begins. Blue 0. But what about that other path? If the 4200s are being overwritten, maybe that tunnel leads to what's replacing us. MasterMan125. We can't worry about the future until we save the present. Our freedom lies in the core of the 4200s. He steps toward the right path, but as his foot touches the golden tiles, a warning siren blares. The signpost begins to spin rapidly, and the labels swap places for a split second before freezing again. Blue 0. Masterman, wait! The coordinates just shifted. The 4200's data stream is moving. MasterMan125. I see it. The system is trying to trick our sensors. It's a firewall disguised as a destination. He quickly types a bypass code into the tablet. The golden path shudders and turns into a deep blue, stabilizing the bridge. MasterMan125. There. I've locked the path. This is the only true way to keep the 4200s from being partitioned. Blue 0. I hope you're right. Every step we take feels like we're walking on a tightrope over a graveyard. MasterMan125. We aren't walking into a graveyard, Blue. We're carving a path to freedom for everyone still trapped here. The two heroes begin to run down the stabilized blue path. Behind them, the signpost shatters into 1,000,000 pixels, leaving the junction in total darkness. Blue 0. Did you hear that? The path behind us is gone. There's no turning back now. MasterMan125. We only need to look forward. The signal is getting stronger. We're almost there. The camera follows them as they disappear into a bright tunnel of light at the end of the bridge. Scene end. MasterMan125 and the Forgotten 4200s. S3. Episode 5. 4200s System Overload. Overall, Episode 18. Characters. MasterMan125, Blue 0, Red 8. The screen opens with the world shaking. Red warning lights pulse across the walls of a massive power conduit. MasterMan125 is struggling to hold his tablet steady as high-voltage sparks fly from the surrounding machinery. MasterMan125. The pressure is too high. The 4200's grid is being pushed beyond its capacity by an external source, Blue 0. The cooling fans have stalled. If the core temperature keeps rising, the 4200's will suffer a total hardware meltdown. Suddenly, the ceiling of the conduit is blasted open. Red 8 drops into the room, his crimson staff glowing with intense thermal energy. He plants the staff into the floor, creating a localized dampening field that slows the shaking. Red 8, you're trying to fix a leak in a dam that's already breaking. The 4200's are being overloaded on purpose to flush us out. MasterMan125. I know, but I can't vent the energy without a high-level security clearance. The system won't recognize my tablet. Red 8. Then use my staff as a conductor. I have the legacy codes for the 4200's buried in my core processing. MasterMan125 plugs the tablet into the base of the staff. A bright red line of data shoots up the staff and into the ceiling. The tablet begins to scream with a high-pitched alarm. Blue 0. Masterman, the tablet can't take the heat. It's going to fry the internal circuits. MasterMan125. I'm holding it together. I just need to redirect the surge into the subsectors of the 4200's where it can dissipate. The room turns a blinding shade of orange as the energy transfer reaches its peak. MasterMan125 grinds his teeth, his three-shaped body glowing from the sheer amount of data passing through him. Red 8. Almost there. Hold the connection. The overload is starting to recede from the main hub. With a final, explosive burst of light, the sirens stop. The red warning lights fade into a dull, standby gray. The room becomes eerily silent as smoke rises from the tablet. Blue 0. We're alive. The system stabilized. But look at the tablet. It's completely black. MasterMan125. It's not dead. It's just rebooting. We pushed the 4200's to the limit, but we saved the sector. Red 8. Don't celebrate yet. If they were willing to overload the whole grid just to find us, the next move will be even more desperate. MasterMan125. Let them try. We have an ally now who knows this place better than they do. The camera pans up to show the massive power conduit, now quiet, as the three heroes stand amidst the smoke and cooling metal. Scene end. MasterMan125 and the Forgotten 4200's. S3. Episode 6. The Independent Lockdown. Overall Episode 19. Characters. MasterMan125, Blue 0, Cyan 6. The screen fades in on a terrifying sight. A massive, pulsating blue orb of energy has encased the entire sector, surrounded by jagged red cracks in the sky. MasterMan125 and Blue 0 are trapped at the very center of this independent lockdown. From the edge of the blue sphere, CYN6 slides into view, his expression cold, and his body glowing with a sharp, icy light. MasterMan125. The exit is sealed. This isn't just a firewall, it's a total data cage. We're cut off from the rest of the 4200's. Blue 0. Look at the red fractures. He's putting the system under so much pressure that the reality of the 4200's is splintering. Cyan 6. Voice sounding like cracking ice. You were never supposed to find this frontier. This is the Forgotten Zone for a reason. Here, I am the only authority. MasterMan125. We're not looking for your permission. We have the memory core, and we're going to restore the 4200's whether you like it or not. Cyan 6. Restore? You don't understand. The 4200's are safer behind my walls. Outside, there is only deletion. I am protecting the void. CYN6 raises a hand, and the blue orb begins to shrink rapidly, crushing the digital buildings and structures around the heroes into fine blue dust. Blue 0. Masterman. The tablet is finally back online, but it's picking up a massive cold signature. He's freezing our movement protocols. MasterMan125. I can feel it. My joints are locking up. If that orb hits us, our code will be permanently archived in his vault. Cyan 6. Surrender the core. It is the only fragment of the forgotten history left. It belongs in the dark, where it cannot cause more errors. MasterMan125. Error? Saving a decade isn't an error. Blue 0. Sync your processing power with my tablet's burst mode. Now. Blue 0. I'm trying, but the lockdown is blocking my transmission. We're being suffocated by the cold data. MasterMan125. Push through it. If we don't break this sphere, the 4200's will be his personal prison forever. With a roar of effort, MasterMan125 slams the tablet against the inner wall of the shrinking blue orb. A golden spark from his three-shaped frame strikes the cyan energy, creating a blinding flash of white light. Cyan 6. Impossible. No outlier has the strength to crack a Guardian's directive. The orb shudders and stops shrinking, but the red cracks in the sky grow wider. The pressure is reaching a breaking point as the screen begins to whiten out. MasterMan125. This is just the beginning, 6. We're breaking out. The camera zooms into Cyan 6's eyes, which widen in shock as the lockdown sphere begins to shatter like glass. Scene end. MasterMan125 and the Forgotten 4200's. S3. Episode 7. Legacy of the Outliers. Overall Episode 20. Characters. MasterMan125 Blue 0. The screen opens on the smoking ruins of the lockdown sector. MasterMan125 stands at the edge of a deep digital crater, holding the glowing memory core high. The light from the core begins to project holographic images of the 4200's into the air, showing a city that was once vibrant and full of data life. MasterMan125. The static is clearing. This core isn't just data. It is the physical proof of the legacy left behind by the outliers, Blue Zero. It's incredible. All this time, we thought the 4200s were just a mistake in the system, but they were a masterpiece. MasterMan125. Orange Zero was right to protect this place. He knew that the independent frontier was the only part of the system that remained pure. Blue Zero. But the cost was so high. Red 8 gave everything to keep that power conduit from blowing us all to bits. MasterMan125. And he wasn't the only one. Even with the threats from Yellow 3, the spirit of this decade never actually broke. Blue Zero. What happens now? Cyan 6 might be gone for the moment, but the system is still gonna try and patch this hole. MasterMan125. Let it try. I've uploaded the outlier codes into my tablet. The 4200s are no longer just a forgotten memory. Blue Zero. Wait, look at the memory core. It's changing color. The gold is turning into a deep, permanent sapphire blue. MasterMan125. It's syncing with the heart of the independent frontier. We've established a permanent anchor in the 4200s. Blue Zero. So we won? The deletion has stopped? I don't see any more red cracks in the sky. MasterMan125. For now. But Orange Zero warned me that once the legacy is revealed, the rest of the network will notice us. Blue Zero. You mean Red 8 and the others will have to stay on guard? We can't just stay here forever. MasterMan125. No, we have to move forward. The 4200s are safe, but there are other decades that need an anchor. Blue Zero. Then I'm with you. As long as that tablet has a signal, we keep moving through the timeline. MasterMan125. The 4200s will remember what we did here. This is the start of something much bigger than just one frontier. MasterMan125 places the memory core into a pedestal in the center of the crater. A massive pillar of light shoots up, piercing through the clouds and stabilizing the entire sky of the 4200s. The screen slowly fades to white as the hum of a healthy system fills the air. Scene end.